I'm joined here by Steven Caldwell. CF Montreal made it to the wildcard round in the playoffs before losing at home on penalties against Atlanta in 2024. How much different will 2025 be for this team? Well, it's a much-changed squad, probably the biggest rebuild we've seen from any of the Canadian sides this year. 8 players who saw significant time last season leaving the club, 9 new signings coming in. What do you make of what Montreal have done in building this team?
Yeah, I think they're trying to change things around. They're trying to find, more consistency and a team that can be more reliable, I guess, throughout the regular season and then into the playoffs. Because at times, again, last year, they could be very good, Montreal, or they could be very bad. There was never that, in between. There was never that grinding out results and having some consistency. So they've went to make some changes to try and find that. And I do feel like they are a team that could be better than last season. But again, you just never really know what Montreal are going to turn up, and I still feel like we're in that state a little bit.
They've changed the forward line with Joseph Martinez leaving, also Matthias Kokoro as well. They've brought in Vrioni, who played for New England Revolution. They brought in Toronto FC's top scorer last year, Prince Owusu. Do you think they're better? Do they have more firepower going forward?
I would say different kind of forwards. They've went for a little bit of power up top there. They've went for a target man in Owusu. That was a bit of a surprise for me that Montreal felt like Owusu would improve their side. But when you look at Kokoro and Martinez, the type of forwards they are and how they work, it's a different approach. So it's suggesting that it's going to be a little bit of a different style. But someone that I like is Jules Anthony Vilsaint. I think he's a player that can be better, but he's got to be fit, he's got to be consistent, he's got to be available for selection, then hopefully in the starting 11 if he's going to be the man that can fire them through. Vrioni's definitely going to start for me. He's going to get a chance, and again, he's got to be better than he was in New England because he was in and out. He was, some games he was good, he looked really good in minutes, but then at other times he wasn't at his best.
Montreal have given a lot of minutes to young Canadians at times. We've seen players like Ismail Kone thrive in that environment and then move on. Nathan Saliba is one who maybe is looking to take that next step. You mentioned Jules Anthony Vilsaint. Shaquille Marshall-Rutty is another one as well who arrived last summer from Toronto FC. Do you see those 3 younger Canadians taking big steps this forward and playing a lot of minutes? Yeah,
well, I like Vilsaint. I've always liked him, Luke, as you know. I want to see him find consistency like I just mentioned, so I'm excited to see if he can be in that 11 week in, week out, and then maybe push himself into Jesse Marcy's 26-man roster. Saliba, for me, is the biggest player. He's the one that can show the most upside. He is a player who can be outstanding for me, and again, he's got to grow up, he's got to mature, and he's got to be the one who drives things from the midfield and who takes on a leadership role at such a young age, but becomes a dominant player in that team. He's capable of it. If he does that in the first few months of the MLS season, I think it'll be hard for them to keep him beyond the summer, because I think there's some, certainly prospects in Europe that fancy Nathan Saliba and that will be pushing for him. And the last one, Shaquille Marshall-Rutty, he's just got to be more confident. He's got to be more positive. He's got to get into attacking positions a little bit more. Flashes of it. It's the same theme with most of these players. We see little bits of what the quality can be. The potential is there. But at this level, you've got to do it week in, week out. So consistency and more positivity from Marshall-Rutty will certainly get people sitting up and noticing.
Well, you said you weren't sure what to expect from Montreal on a week-to-week basis last season. I'm not really sure what to expect from them this season, but I don't have to give the prediction, and you do, so that's okay.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Where do they finish?
Oh, I've got them in the playoffs again, just in the playoffs. I think they can really battle for that last playoff place, the 7th place. So I think that'll be the battle, and I've got them just sneaking into 7th and making the first round proper of the playoffs. OK, so Stevie has CF Montreal avoiding the wild card round this time around and going straight into that first round with a 7th place finish in the East, but they'll have a tough start to the season on the road against big spending Atlanta United at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday, and that will be live on TSN.